Hello everybody, I'm Stewart Swerdlow for Expansions.com. The dream podcasts that I've done in the past were very popular, and so because of your interest and your requests, I'm going to do now another dream podcast, and I have a lot of dreams here, so I may not get to every single one of them, but eventually I will. And again, I will let you know when you should send your dreams in. Right now we have quite a bunch, so we don't need any more, and I appreciate your interest and taking the time to do that. But for right now, let's go through what I have, and then we'll see where we are at the end. I want to start off with recurring dreams, and recurring dreams happen when there's some very, very important information to which you are not paying attention. And so your subconscious mind is telling you, hey, look at this. It's like poking you with the information over and over until you will do something about it. And when you have a recurring dream, and then you finally take care of it in some manner, then the dreams will end or switch to something else that you need to know. So a few people wrote in, and these are very brief, recurring dreams. One of them is, I have a recurring dream of smoking cigarettes. I quit that habit 18 years ago and have no desire or cravings in waking life. Well, as you may remember from my work, when you smoke cigarettes, it puts a brown color in your auric field, and that grounds and balances you. So when there's a feeling or a desire to smoke, it means you need to ground and balance. And so I would suggest to this person that you should keep brown in and around you, permeating you and surrounding you as much as possible until you feel really grounded and balanced. And then perhaps these recurring dreams of smoking cigarettes will come to an end. See if that will work for you, and I'd be interested if you would write in on the comments form perhaps, or the forums, and let us know if this worked for you. Another person, I have a recurring dream of being back in my old house that I grew up in. That's the common theme, but individual dreams may take place in my bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, etc., even outside and around the yard and in the street near my house. Okay, that's interesting, because going back to the past, especially where you used to live, usually means there's an issue from that time period that has been unresolved and is coming up now in a different way perhaps, and you need to take care of it. But in this little snippet of your recurring dream, there's missing information as far as a clue as to what it is. So I would suggest maybe using your old house or whatever is in the dream that keeps coming back, that image as an icon at your pineal gland, and then just look at it and use medium green color from the past and see what comes up. You might see the significance or the event that happened that imprinted you and is occurring now in your current life. And then a very small recurring dream from this person about spiders crawling around. I usually kill or try to kill them. That's all the person wrote. Well, as we know, spiders represent deceptions and webs of deceit and entrapment. So if you are having a recurring dream about spiders, or if that's a theme, then that means you're being deceived, or you feel you're being deceived by others and or getting entrapped. And the fact that you usually kill or try to kill them does mean that you're getting through that issue, eliminating it, and if you try to kill them and you're not getting them, then that means your attempts are not working and you need to try a different method. So much for the recurring dreams. Here are some other dreams that we can talk about. Some are programming, some are oversoul dreams, and I'll go through some of these now. This one says, I was with my family, my mother, father, and sister, trying to go somewhere but not sure where. We were moving on a series of railroad tracks. We were not on a train, but on the tracks themselves. And my mother was moving and turning this way and that, so that wherever we were trying to go, we would go in that direction. She was lifting up the tracks with her hands and repositioning them in order to make them go in a certain direction, kind of like a giant puzzle. Well, This one is really a programming dream, because when we dream about railroad tracks, that's an artificial DNA symbol. Mother represents old logic or manipulative mind patterns, like a handler would be. And I would say you are being manipulated in life by female people, because it is the female person or the logical mind that is manipulating the artificial DNA or railroad tracks to steer you in a certain direction. So there's programming going on and a female who's triggering it, and that's what you need to look at. Another dream I had years ago, this was a horrible and scary looking ghost that was in my house. I was very scared of it, but still chose to stay. As the dream went on, I began to interact with the ghost, and as time went on, it began to change into a beautiful woman who I fell in love with. Well, house represents the soul personality, or the mansions of the soul. A ghost is the image of self that is not secure or solid. In other words, a poor self-image, or something that you thought you were but you really are not. So you like your logical self, but not the creative emotional self. But this is still not secure within you, and you need some confidence. So because the ghost changed to a beautiful woman, it means that your self-image that wasn't clear is really going to help your logical mind, which you really apparently like more than your emotional side, is the one that will steer you and direct you and give you some confidence. Next dream. I'm in a shopping center with a man I trust. We set up a bomb in the shopping center. For some reason, everyone in there is evil. We blow up the shopping center, but the main evil guy finds a way out, and we go looking for him. He is deformed with an evil smile stuck to the side of another, with an evil smile, and he's stuck to the side of another building. The rest is a conversation with him, but he seems to get away and can't remember the conversation or the rest. So this is a little bit of a weird dream, but it would say to me, a shopping center here, this is also programming, because shopping centers would be a programming construct with the different compartments of the stores in there. And there's a guardian altar removing the constructs, blowing it up, and altar groups that are no longer valid. So I would think that this represents altar groups within your programming matrix that are no longer needed, and they're being destroyed, or you're destroying them. It can also be that you're doing your deprogramming work and destroying your constructs, but either way, I would encourage you to brown X items like shopping center and bombs, and merge in any of the living things that you find in there, and continue your deprogramming. Here's a very short dream from a 17-year-old boy or young man who wrote in. It's about me, actually. Stewart Swerdlow was warning that the Earth's atmosphere was blowing off, and Earth would be scared, and people would have to flee to the inner Earth. Well, that represents a need to look within yourself for answers, since your surface personality is not there for you. I would represent the inner teacher, or the inner self, Oversoul within, God mind within, that is telling you to go within and look inside of yourself instead of relying on what you see externally. Another question related to this, but similar dream. I saw the earth from an outside view, and it looked barren and dry. It looked possibly dark, brown-green maybe, not sure what color. Well, this shows that you feel what you feel about yourself and the world in general and life. There are old, deep emotions that are closing in and need to be released. So whenever you dream of the earth, or Mother Earth, or the world, that can represent your relationship with your mother, or it can represent how you look at the world itself generally. And so if it looks barren and dry, then maybe you're not being nurtured in life by female. or perhaps you feel your life is empty and needs to be rejuvenated. So look at these issues. Next dream. I was sitting at a table in a room. The table was dressed in a cloth. It came to my attention that there was a little girl under the table. Now this dream does get a little bit risque, so please forgive those who might be offended. There's a little girl under the table. She was sitting with her head near my knees. I knew she was drawn to the sacred opening between my thighs. I gently reached for her. She appeared to be 8 or 9, and she said sadly, "I have no love in my life." I looked down to see a pair of moths on my midriff, coupled as though mating, bottom to bottom, with a mucus-like substance emanating from them. Their color was a vibrant, deep rose. They started to fly upward. The little girl was then lifted up as well into the exposed rafters that were covered with ivy and vines. Daylight flooded the rafters. Just then the girl began to descend down via black rope-like support. I said to her, God delivered her down. Now this is a very symbolic dream for this person, because I'm going to say to this person, you are that little girl. What happened to you at the age of 8 or 9 that traumatized you? It appears to be sexual abuse that removed your ability to love. You need to rise above the issue that you thought was a dead issue, but is still there and active in your mind pattern. Do the green spiral staircase on this using the ages of 8 or 9, see what you come up with, and definitely do the child within exercise. So this is, I would say, an oversoul dream that is showing you a trauma that occurred and that is still affecting your current life. Next one. I had dreams about running away from the corrupted police, meeting and running away from aliens, hostile and friendly, although only one dream with the friendly ones, but they didn't do much comparing to the hostile ones that were kicking and destroying Earth, and the cataclysm itself that will make way for the better future of Earth and humanity. Okay, so this shows a lot of trauma in life with an authority figure or someone you didn't know. It could be connected to mother's spouse or a friend. Need to remove this mind pattern and memory and not attract that in your life anymore. So do some golden altar release work, do some oversoul work on this. Again, this has to do with an earlier trauma. Next dream. I used this about 2 weeks ago, the healing breast nurturing archetype, including wolf frequency. The themes in my dreams are nightmares or lack of understanding, demonic dolls, and sports cars. In one dream, there are 4 dolls, including Chucky, inside of a vending machine. They're not activated until a man in a crowd puts money inside of it. I'm in a shoe store in Russia buying white snow boots in an adjacent room. I was upset that the man put money in the machine to get the dolls out. When I dream of dolls, they look very sweet, except for Chucky in this dream, and are always demonic and want to kill people. I'm always trying to stop them. Well, this could be a sign of a demonic attachment to you. It also shows Romanov programming, because you mentioned that you were in Russia, and or because of Russian personality traits, it could represent emotional detachment. Lots of alter personalities that need self-worth to be input, so there's a lot of low self-worth issues here. You have major deprogramming to do, and I would also ask you to read about the Moonchild programming and true reality of sexuality, because that would be connected to this as well. There could also be doll programming from Monarch programming involved here. You have a lot of issues that need to be looked at, and so please do your deprogramming as soon as possible. Next dream, it says here, I did not know where to start a new project, So I asked before going to sleep to have some insights. In my dream, I saw an open book. There were words I could not understand. I asked a friend next to me to translate them because it was his native tongue. He had one hand on my shoulder. We were both looking at the book. He said it meant, "Follow the path of the wolf." Next night, I asked to understand what my first dream meant. I could not remember the details, but was told the name Ganymede several times, so I would not forget. Next morning, I checked on the internet about Ganymede, and I discovered that my dream happened exactly the same day as Galileo discovered it, the 7th of January, 1601. I rarely remember my dreams. These two were very vivid. The path of the wolf made me think of Sirius, but I do not see why. I discovered also that Ganymede is the 7th moon of Jupiter, the largest moon in the solar system. And in the mythology, Ganymede, the water carrier, gave its name to the Aquarius constellation. I'd really be happy to understand what they mean. Thank you very much. Well, going back to the first part of it, where it says, we open the book and it says, follow the path of the wolf, that may mean that you need to connect or reconnect to friends and family. You should be more open with them in your life because the wolf represents clan, family, friendship, that kind of thing. But the wolf can turn on you, and so you need to take care of that as well, because that could mean family that you were close to that then you're not close to anymore. With the second part, Ganymede and Jupiter and the solar system, it shows a need to open up more and take back your personal power. Jupiter is the largest planet. It's most powerful, God-mind male influence, whereas Ganymede is a moon and a largest moon, so it's female power and Earth-like influence. So you need to balance your male and female sides, open up and become powerful. Water carrier usually means you're holding on to emotions. Release them. Family is important to you. So basically what this is saying is take care of the issues with the family that you have, ground and balance yourself, get rid of those emotions, do your release work, and then that will help you become closer to your friends and family. That's actually a very interesting dream that you had. Next dream. I was driving an ATV with my son on the back, and we were heading down a dirt road. Before I knew it, we had come upon a large gate to a ranch and went through the gate. I stopped and got off the ATV, and to the right were two big black bears and a man wearing a cowboy hat. One of the bears grabbed me from behind and held me in a bear hug, not hurting me, just holding me and laying his head on my head. I remember thinking in the dream that I felt like I was getting squished. I really wasn't afraid, but very uncomfortable. Then a young, dark-haired girl appeared and started talking to the bear. She was familiar, but I can't place her, like the man with the cowboy hat. Finally, the big bear let me go, but he bit me on my left hand. I looked down at my hand in the dream and wondered why it wasn't bleeding, but it ached and felt warm. The bear and I looked at each other for a moment, and then I woke up. It was intense as heck, and I felt everything. When I woke, my hand was tingling and warm. I know I have to sit with this a bit and see what comes to me. Okay, this has a lot of symbolism in it. An ATV, riding an ATV, all-terrain vehicle with your son on the back, on a dirt road. The ATV would mean that you're able to face anything in life. An all-terrain vehicle means, symbolically in the dream, you can go anywhere in life and you can get through and you can be okay. But with your son on the back, on a dirt road, the sun represents new emotions, new spiritual ideas, maybe creative ideas. But because in the back, it's from the past. It's something you're holding on to that maybe is preventing the new ideas from coming forward. And the dirt road means the path you're taking in life right now, creatively, emotionally, spiritually, might be a little bit unstable. Now the bear as we know, represents going within for information. And 2 black bears would be a couple of hidden issues within yourself that are now coming to the forefront and literally making you become aware of them. A man and a cowboy hat, well, that's a spiritual, creative issue that may be a little bit wild. So maybe your ideas aren't so stable after all, your creative ideas. And the young girl represents new logical ideas to understand the depths of the mind. And it's the little girl who actually interrupts the bears and then causes the bear to bite you on the left hand, which means that you need to physically pay attention to the issue. The issue from within is biting you. It's saying, hello, here I am. The hand is what we grasp in life. And so it's saying you need to do something now logically with these internal ideas and bring them forward. So look within yourself. Maybe you could even center in your sacral chakra using pale orange, and really get to your creative ideas that you've stuck in the back. It's making your road bumpy and rough. I know you're getting through, but you could do better. Bring this forward. Pay attention to what you can grasp in life right now. That's what that dream is telling you. Next dream.
Hi, this is Janet Diane Moria Swerdlow. Today we are going to do a little fun thing, kind of a change. I'm going to help you make a sauce. This is a sauce that I keep in my refrigerator. It's very easy to do. It's easy to get the ingredients for, and you can use it on just about anything. So what we'll do is, to start with, is I use a jar of the Heinz safflower mayonnaise, cold pressed. It's my first ingredient. This is actually what I call ghost sauce, and that's because I use ghost peppers in it. And you may or may not want to use that because it is very strong. But the reason this sauce came about was because we needed something to eat while we were traveling, when we had picked up some barbecued meat. And most of the barbecue sauces, as you know, is filled with sugar, and if not sugar, what is worse, corn syrup. So we went to a health food store and we picked up a jar of mayonnaise and a few other simple ingredients that we put together that we could put on our meat. Very low carb, and as I said, we use it on everything. You could use it as a salad dressing, you can use it as on fish, you can use it on chicken, we use it on barbecued meat. So we just put that in our bowl. Wipe my hands. Then I have a jar of organic, this happens to be garlic cilantro salsa, medium. We like things spicy, but it's really hard to find it this way. It's organic. We just dump that in to the jar, from the jar. Empty that one out. And I add one more, and this one is medium chipotle salsa. So you can choose whatever you like. And then what I like to do is add a little sea salt. You may have a half a teaspoon to a 3/4 of a teaspoon. It's up to you. A little bit of black pepper goes in, and I put in about a teaspoon of that. And I also use garlic. This is my Frontier organic granulated garlic, and I just pour in maybe a little more of that, a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons, a tablespoon or 2, depending upon how much garlic you like. I like a lot of garlic. I have from Cindy Grew at our organic grower at Kitty Hill some dried chili pepper flakes. I put those in, and probably a couple teaspoons, maybe more. Again, you know, we don't do things usually too stringently here, whatever works for you. This is some hot sauce that I happen to have on hand. Somebody from New Zealand sent to me. It's a really nice organic one, so I put that in. And if you want, you can chop in some chopped garlic or whatever, but it's really basically simple. Whatever you have on hand, don't go out and buy a bunch of things. Your basic ingredients are the cold pressed mayonnaise, your 2 jars of the salsa. salt and pepper, and then whatever else you want to add. Now, here comes my secret ingredient, which is the ghost pepper, which somebody brought to me some time ago, and it's very strong. It's supposed to be the strongest pepper in the world, the hottest pepper in the world, ghost pepper. There's another official name for it, but if you look up ghost pepper, you'll find it. It happens to give kind of a smoky flavor, but it's very, very hot, so you don't want to touch your eyes after you've touched the pepper. And I just put a real light sprinkle on it, maybe 1/4 teaspoon, if that. And a very light smoky flavor, but it's very, very hot. And I stir that in, it gives it kind of a nice smoky flavor. And that's really all that I do. It's very easy to make. I keep this in my refrigerator all the time. As I said, it's a good sauce. You can add it to anything. When you're done in the bowl, I put it right back in the jars that it came from. I refill this, I refill this, and I refill this, and I put it back in my refrigerator and I'm done. I have one bowl to wash. So that's it. Easy sauce for you, easy to prepare, delicious, good ingredients, low carb, and it can make a difference in how you enjoy the food that you prepare. Thank you, and join me again, because I will be returning with more handy tips and hints and recipes and things to make eating whole foods enjoyable. Take care.